Students, this is your Mariama with the topic prevention and control of diseases. In the last video, you would have been learned regarding the common diseases in the human. So these common diseases in the human, why it has been caused to us? Because most of us does not maintain the hygiene or cleanliness is been not there in the house or outside the house. Maybe these all are the reasons for the rising of the new diseases also we can tell. So in prevention and control of diseases, the picture which I have put over here, you can see a lady dropping the dust into the dustbin. This occurs even in our areas where a man will come with a bell or a sound of a van sound, putting a song that separate the dust, wet, dry, and put it into the dustbin in our bins which we have been got. So if you do that, what happens? It is very easy to discard it. These all are the measures which have been taken by the even by the government to keep our city clean. So our society retains without any type of diseases. How to control the diseases means this is the only precaution. Let's see now due to corona. Even corona, we have to get existed means you have to maintain your own hygiene. So that's what we call it as personal hygiene. So today we'll learn little bit about what is the personal hygiene, what I have to maintain, what I have to do to the society, how can I be a part to control the disease in this society. So this is all are very important for the new generation kids. So whenever you eat in a chocolate, never throw a papers will be there, the chocolate papers will be there, kurkure packets will be there. Immediately you shouldn't throw to the road. You have to have an essence that is scientific attitude. So collect your dust or whatever you use even in the inside the classroom when you eat the chocolates, those chocolate papers, you have to drop it into the dustbin. See, these all are common sense we can tell. But still, this chapter why it is been kept means you get the awareness. You build up an awareness inside your house. When one student built up a awareness of the hygiene in one house, that means the total number of students in that locality, if each one think about that, keeping clean my home, my area, my college, definitely disease will not enter into our premises only. So this is what we are trying to tell in this topic. Okay. So prevention in and control of diseases, that what I have told you, personal hygienic. What is personal hygienic? Usually I tell the kids you are, whenever you get up in the morning, you have to have a good bowel movement. You have to drink one glass of water early morning. If it is warm, it is very good. And clean your bowling and also keep the body clean. You have to bathe the morning. And after going, if you are really sweat for a long time, again, if you bathe, that is not a wrong thing. If you bathe for nearly 2 times a day, that's really very good. Now, nowadays, it is also said as soon as you come out of the house, so we get drenched by the bathing and where the dust or due to the pollution also most of the aerosols will stand on our face, on our body and our hair, and which may cause us the numerous diseases. For that eradication, if you go have one more bath, that's also a good thing. So that's all our personal hygienic, having a hygienic food, I mean home food, not outside. So if you avoid more or less contaminated food and water, we can also stop the diseases. Okay. Public hygiene, that become a personal hygiene. Let us talk about a little bit of public hygiene. So first point, whatever I have written, proper disposable of waste and excreta. Excreta means nowadays in Talukluga we were having the pit system for the toilet, and the masticating water also enters into the gutters, reaches the lake, pond, and also you should have a proper disposable of the waste and the excreta so that disease does not spread. Secondly, periodic cleaning and disinfection of water reservoirs, pools, cesspools, tanks. Whenever we come to these things, we should be aware of cleaning our own tanks. That is, could have been kept the syntax tanks on the building also. So often you have to see at least 2 months once or once in a month as a dirt accumulation and storing of water also you should be very careful. You should place a lid so that it does not become the area for the breeding of mosquitoes. Okay, so the disinfection of water you have to maintain means we have to have an idea of cleaning our own storage water in the house, and also you shouldn't put all the waste into the gutter so that it moves into the lake, and and we also dirt our own reservoirs, rivers, pools, and also we should also take care that we are not polluting any water bodies. If we pollute the water bodies, again we are only having the all the type of sequences of diseases. So when we do, we are repaying ourselves for those things. That's why. So you have to know to maintain the water uncontaminated. That is the second point. Then third, coming to the third, avoid contact with the infected person. See, nowadays, due to corona also, we have come across telling you have to wear the mask, you shouldn't shake the hands, so because germs will be sitting on our hands, virus may be sitting on our hands. So immediately you touch any things which has been touched by the infected persons, use the tap or wash the hands. If water is not there, use a sanitizer of 1 hour once when in your working place. So when you're in the touching in the market, you get money. Even nowadays they tell by the exchange of the notes also there is a spreading of corona. So you have to take care of yourselves. Means these all are the small precautionary measures. You shouldn't think they will do why I have to do. It's not like that. See, if you avoid we may not be knowing who is infected person, who is not infected person and all. If you be in our essence of avoiding the diseases, then we have to take precaution, then blaming the infected person has to be taken. So this all when we come in contact with the infected person, knowing or unknowingly, the disease might enter into our body. So this all belongs to airborne disease. Now whatever it is spreading, corona is also an airborne disease. So where it will live in the droplet, and virus usually I have in first year also would have been learned, like virus is a inert molecule. Whenever it gets a host only, it will start its multiplication. So it might be anywhere on the air, on the note, on the soil, or in the water body, anywhere it might be. So this all are said to be the airborne diseases. So when there is a airborne diseases, the precautionary measures should be more. Okay, then fourth, the standard practice of hygiene in a public catering. Standard means when we go to a marriage party maybe, or any function maybe, school function maybe, college function, anything might be, you should have your own hygienic. Their teacher won't stand to have tell you to how to be hygienic. It is your sense of being hygienic and teach others also how to maintain hygiene in public. So when you enter in a hotel also, when you purchase the things, eat it, see that those spoons are being neatly washed by you. Why if they have washed, you shouldn't believe. You have to wash it, wash your hand properly, and eat very hygienic in the way of hygienic. The food should be consumed. So these all are the smaller things which we feel we have to do it, because if we do only, we will have an awareness that we don't get a disease, and we shouldn't be the vector, I mean a carrier to spread the diseases. So that is how in public catering means that what whenever you have the food either in the hotel or in the marriage party or in any parties or any functions, you should have a standard practice of hygienic. Have a wash your hand properly, then have the food. Again, having the food, wash your hands. Don't use the glasses of water which has been drunk by others. How far we know in the hotels they have washed properly and kept the glasses. This all are common hygienic thinking that you have to maintain. Then coming to the fifth one, control and eliminate vectors. This is very important. Whenever it rains, there might be water standing in the coconut shell or in the tire tubes or in the cover bags in your surrounding area. See that those all are eradicated immediately. Why means standing water is a main breeding place for the mosquitoes. Don't breed, don't encourage the breeding of mosquitoes. Means don't encourage means what it is understood. See that the water starts moving in your gutter. If it stands, definitely mosquitoes breed. So this all if you take care, of course, 70% of that area or that locality will be prevented by diseases, I can tell you. So this all are the 5 points of the public hygiene. Okay. Coming to control and elimination of the vectors. So vectors means mosquito. Mosquitoes are main transmitter of the many diseases such as chikungunya, dengue, malaria. Okay, all these diseases are being caused by the breeding of the mosquitoes. If you eradicate the mosquitoes breeding area, definitely it is also one of the measure of controlling the disease. Avoid stagnation of water means standing water should be avoided. That's what I have told you. Here in this picture, you can see after it rains, if the water is retained like this in the cups or in this like trays or in the pots, if it is standing or in the roadside, see in the gutter. So this standing water, if it is cleared, then the breeding place of mosquito is eradicated. We shouldn't given a chance for the breeding of mosquito. If you given a chance for the breeding of mosquito, that means we are awaking the wanting the diseases to enter into our society. So this should be avoided by us only. A stand or a step should be taken by you youngsters to take all type of these measures so that the disease might be prevented. So these all are the small precautions which we have to take care. Nobody will come over there or government will not come over there to eradicate the diseases or to eradicate the water which is accumulated surrounding us. It is our own step we have to take. So here you can see regular cleaning of household coolers. Usually little in the summer season coolers are used. There what happens, the water becomes the vapor and you feel the cooling. After that the dust which you get accumulated, okay, the dust which get accumulated in the cooler also will be the one of the area for breeding because water and warmness will be there. There might be the breeding area of mosquito or accumulation of the cockroaches also. So you should see that the regular cleaning of household coolers also you should get so that we eliminate the mosquito breeding. Next, control and elimination vectors. Next comes the use of mosquitoes. Usually, children get very easily affected by this airborne diseases or by these transmitters such as mosquito. Usually, when the advertisement comes, Kala hit for malaria, and many advertisement comes in the I mean, in the media and telling how to avoid the mosquito. Why these medias all are posing their product to sell? No, no. Another thing behind this is the mosquitoes are the very dangerous vectors which cause the diseases, many type of disease. So while sleeping also, if you use the mosquitoes nest, that means you can avoid most of the mosquito biting in the night. When we sleep, we may not knowing whether it has come, whether it has bitten, whether anopheles is bitten, female is bitten, or male is bitten, or which type of mosquito if comes to be a bite, it will come and bite you. You tell me, dengue spreads by very especially by mosquito. Then does that mosquito come to you and tell, "See, I am the dengue mosquito spreading diseases and bite you"? No. To avoid all such things, you have to use mosquito nets in the house to have a precautionary measure against this disease. Okay. So next, elimination of the vectors control. Come how to completely eradicate the mosquitoes breeding in the lake or ponds by introducing the larvaceous fishes like uh, Jambusia in ponds. See, this is one of the species, Jambusia and Guppy. Okay. Jambusia and Guppy are this Guppy you have been seen in the aquarium also. Why we install a Guppy in aquarium means to eradicate the mosquito because it is aquarium means a standing water it is. So a standing water inside a house or inside a college or inside a museum shouldn't become the breeding spot for mosquito. To avoid that, usually in the aquarium it would have been observed Guppy or Gambusia will be introduced. This Gambusia and Gypsy are very smaller fishes. They are larvivorous. The larvivorous means they lay the larva. Through the larva, the fishes arise in its life cycle. So larvivorous, it's very important to know that if you introduce this Gambusia even in your lake and pond surrounding your village, even there the mosquito breeding will be stopped. So this is one of a good method to avoid the breeding of mosquitoes. Next, see, in the vectors. Next one is spraying insecticides in the ditches or drainage swamps. Usually we get in the market many types of sprays that Kala hit also is one of the spray to avoid mosquito and most of the insects. So such sprays, if they are used in the ditches, in the gutter in front of your house might be, or standing white might be, surrounding after it rains. If you spray those all things, it's like sanitizing the house nowadays. They do sanitization of the house. Why? To avoid all type of germs, bacteria, virus, which we cannot see through our naked eyes, also are being killed. Even insecticides, if you spray in the ditches, insecticides are used in the field, especially in the paddy field. Why they use in the paddy field? Because paddy field is meant water standing field. If they, that is a, how do they grow paddy? There should be standing water over there. If this standing water become the place for the breeding of mosquito, again it may affect the yield also, and it also may cause the diseases surrounding village. So usually when they use the insecticides over there in those agricultural fields, so especially in the paddy growth, they use the insecticides so to avoid the breeding of the mosquitoes. See how far these mosquitoes are danger, you might be knowing. Most of the slides which I am showing is the eradication of the mosquito, which are big problem in a city. Now what they tell, we have an DDT resistant mosquito according to Darwin theory. See, whenever say we study evolution, survival the fittest, okay, survival the fittest, we have told struggle of existence. For this example, we can give that DDT resistant mosquito. Why I am telling this means in Second World War, the mosquitoes were being to eradicate the mosquito. There was bloodshed victims. Due to the bloodsheds, the bloods were standing and there it became a breeding area for the mosquito. To avoid this, they started spraying DDT powder. So as soon as they started spraying the DDT powder over there, the mosquitoes which were not able to digest the DDT powder, they all died. But some mosquitoes, they had that DDT as an energy booster. They started to adapt themselves by accumulating the DDT powder in their body. Now, when was the World War happened? And now also we are having the same, the breed has continued. Now whatever the mosquito we are having around us, they are all DDT resistant mosquitoes. They tell means if you spray the DDT powder also, they will not die. It becomes a meal for them, like a booster for them, energy booster it has become. But still now also we see whenever any persons comes to our area or a society, any VIP enters, usually on the both the roadside, the government, I mean municipality people, they will put the, I mean, powder on the two line powders on the roadside. It may that what I usually tell, they are all DDT resistant mosquito. If they eat this resistant powder, this is sprayed also, they will not die. So we have to have a good what a composition of a chemical which kills this mosquito and eradicate the diseases from our places. So that what this slide I'm telling about, spraying insecticides in the ditches maybe, drainage maybe, swamps maybe, or in the gutter maybe, or even in our house once in a week we have to spray completely this sprays which kills the mosquito and also the insects like cockroach, which are really unhygienic to have all these things. By this only disease spreads. Why don't we take a step? Okay, next is providing doors and windows with wire mesh. This usually in all our houses would have been installed the wire mesh. But though we have installed the wire mesh also, the children are like that. Usually grandmothers or the people in the house, the aged people, they tell after in the evening when the sun sets by 6 o'clock, close all the doors, put the mesh doors. Why to put the mesh doors means sometimes the mosquitoes move into the light. So when we have on the light inside our house, the lights outside it will be dark. So from the dark to the lightness, the mosquito may enter inside the house. Usually in those time, that's why they provide the mesh windows. So mesh windows, nearly some 25 to 35% of mosquitoes will be avoided to enter inside the house by using the wire mesh. This is one of the very good precautionary measures. And in our places and most of the houses would have been meshed windows and also the doors. After putting the mesh also, we have to use some of the sprays or night coils. This all we use why to avoid the mosquitoes entering. So this all precaution can avoid vector-borne diseases like malaria, filariasis, that is elephantiasis, dengue fever, chikungunya. And these diseases are today it came, tomorrow it will vanish of no children. If these diseases occur, sometime it will take you and go. And you would have been heard many people dying due to the dengue fever. Chikungunya retains inside the body, giving a threat only. It may cause arthritis also. They tell it causes joint pain, chikungunya. And malaria, elephantiasis also is a long-lasting diseases. Immediately it cannot be eradicated. So these are the vector-borne diseases which are not so easily like a fever. It comes in the body, go by 3 days. No, it retains in the body for a long time. So you have to take precaution. There is no other route even to avoid corona. There is also by virus air. There is also vector-borne disease. Only we can tell. Airborne diseases. It is whatever it is, you have to have an precautionary measures to avoid the disease. Next, the last slide is vaccination and immunization. Now, whenever we hear every day in the news channel, so many deaths are occurring due to the corona. Now what we are waiting for. Why you are not coming to college? That's the reason because we are not able to find the vaccine has not come out yet. If the vaccine comes out very early for the corona diseases, that means a threat is being less. Now a threat is there, the moment of the corona might spread at any moment by anybody, because we are not knowing who is infected person, who is non-infected person. How do you segregate them? Many are infected but they are roaming about spreading the diseases. So whenever you come in contact with any people, see that when you move into any mall or market, or when you come to the nearby the campus, anywhere you go also without mask, don't go, because vaccine is not been created yet. If vaccine comes also, how far it reaches our place. In India we are it has to come into India, then to Karnataka, then to Gokak. At what time when it will come we don't know. So precautionary measure is very much important until vaccine is comes into the market. So vaccination and immunization help to control diseases like smallpox, polio, diphtheria, pneumonia, tetanus. For all these diseases, vaccination has been done. So would have been observed in 1 year baby, there will be, within 5 years, up to 5 years, there will be doses of vaccine given by the doctor. So here is a picture you can see where a beautiful baby is sitting and doctor is vaccinating him. So this is a method which has been identified by from those days. Even we have the vaccinized mark in our hand, that is on our upper limb you can see. So even polio nowadays you have a many advertisement, and some of the nurses will come visit your house asking whether you have a children within 5 years. They put some 1 or 2 drops of polio vaccine into the mouth of the baby, so that abnormality is lessened. So for all smallpox, polio, diphtheria, pneumonia, tetanus, we are having vaccination and immunization is done, which will control the disease to an extent. But we are not able to find the vaccination for that of the corona. That's why the disease is still spreading, and the government is not having a dare to open all the institutions. So if once the institution is open, the children, small children, if you tell how many times them also, they will fight with their friends in the classroom. This how there will be the spread of the diseases between the children. Once the disease spreads in between the children, nobody can eradicate it. Yes, nobody can eradicate it, because the children are the innocent faces of the disease. We can tell without unknowing, they hug each other, they shake their hands with each other. they beat with each other. So these are all common things which we see in the school times and all. So this might be a reason for the spread of the disease in children. That's why until vaccination has been declared properly in the by the government, it is better not to open the schools. I don't know how far they are taking the risk and doing things and all. But be when you are in the house also be aware of these things. And when the college open also you have to take precautionary measures more for yourself. You shouldn't wait for others. They are taking precautionary measures until vaccine is identified. Once a vaccine is identified, we feel little bit relaxed that okay, the disease might not go, it might not kill me. So this mentality it has to build up in our mind. When vaccine has to be identified, vaccine has to be come into the market. And usually to avoid the persistence of the diseases for a immediate relief means usually we go for antibiotics. So drugs like antibiotics, now also they are using antibiotics only in most of the hospital to avoid the corona primary infection. So antibiotics are also help to treat the infectious disease. So these are the pictures of the some of the vaccine and immunization injections and the tablet. So how far vaccination is important, I think so now we have understood. I would have been heard in the media every time they will be telling vaccine one country has identified, but it is not come into the World Health Organization has to accept it. This is still going on. Now recently they tell by 2022 vaccine might come out and reach the even the remote place. If it is sold out to the market also, when it will reach our place is one of the question. For that we have to wait. Okay, so this is regarding complete personal hygienic and also regarding what is that vaccination and immunization, how to keep yourself safe and prevent the diseases, you and your surrounding, how you have to take care. I have told it, I mean, in enormously. So these all are the measures which you have to get adapted and teach the people around you to get adapted so that you won't become the vector. I mean, I mean, you don't become a vector in spreading the diseases, especially corona. So take a large measurement for all these things and be aware of the diseases. Okay, so meet you in the next class with more information of the humanity. These slides and all, if you write, it is better as a notes. Thank you, children.